So this came in the mail today, and it is my new Vonhaus Router. So before we crack it open, I'm going to give you the specs. So this is the name of it, which is actually quite handy because usually they have some weird name with numbers in it. It is called the Vonhaus Compact Deluxe Palm Router Saw, and it's the deluxe version because the other version just comes with the router and the fixed base, but the one I bought comes with the plunge base and some other extra accessories. So it has a 1/4 inch and 3/8 inch collet, and it can reach RPM of 1000 to 3200, and the one I got is the 710 watt motor, and the other one you can buy is 580, but this one has more power, so I went for it. So let's see what all came in the box. First thing is of course the router body, and it's nice and machined, I'm guessing round because it's nice and smooth, and the collet in the end does require 1 spanner instead of 2, and there's this little locking piece here, so that's nice. So this is the 710 watt motor. The other one available from them is 580, as I said, but I went for the more powerful one, even though it was more expensive. So this is the fixed base, and it comes with a tiny accessory, this piece here, and this is actually very interesting. So when you attach this to the back of the fixed base here, it means that you're able to use non-bearing guided bits as bearing guided bits, because this little piece here is essentially a little bearing, and it's adjustable. So I have it attached here on the bottom, and you can see how that works. So the little bearing hovers exactly over the center, and if you undo the locking knob and twist this knob, you can in fact adjust it for if you want to do more or less removing of material, and then you can just lock it, and that means that you can use non-bearing guided bits instead of having a router fence, which I think is very interesting and likely useful. The last big piece is this here, and this is the what is this? This is the plunge router base, and my oh my, this thing is solid. So it is built like a brick. So if we have it back here, it has this wee flexible screen eye protector thingy, which isn't very useful probably. But there's also a turret adjuster, you can see here, and that means you can change the depth by 1 millimeter, and you can adjust the different heights of the turret. And then there's a guide here, and if we undo this bolt and this one, the guide slides out, and you can attach a fence to it. And also here is the plunge feature, so if you twist this up, it goes up, and it's nice and smooth, doesn't rack. Well, it racks a tiny bit, but what do you expect, it can't go perfectly. So it means with it back here, you're able to push down, and using your finger, the back here, just push lock, lock it up here, lock it back there, lock, lock, unlock, lock, unlock. So it's very solid, and I'm very impressed. There's a few more wee things included, such as this fence, and I doubt I'll ever use this because it's just not very... It works, sure, yep, it'll probably work, but I don't know, I just won't really use it. And then there are 2 plastic dust extractor screen port thingies, and they are see-through, which is handy. And they seem to be pretty strong. I haven't broken them yet, which is good, but I likely won't use these because I don't really have a small dust extractor. Besides, it doesn't mind me that much, chips flying everywhere, so I won't be using those either probably. The last thing then is a little bag with some few spare parts. So it came with the wrench. It is a brushed motor, or I presume it is, because it came with 2 spare brushes. Again, good. Then there's the 3/8 inch collet and 2 little thumb screws for attaching accessories. So I have it plugged in, and there's the variable speed up here on the top, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that varies from 1000 to 3200 RPM. And then on the front here, there's just a small trigger switch. Well, no, sorry, not trigger switch, gang switch, flip switch. So I haven't actually tested how loud it is, so let's see. Whoops. Right, that's not 1000 RPM. Oh, right, let's turn her up a bit. See if that's any better. That's better. I'm only talking normally here, and that seems pretty good. It's nice and quiet. I aren't cutting anything yet. So that's speed 4. Let's turn it up all the way to 6. That is very quiet. Very, very nice. So you could almost use that without ear defenders. But then again, there isn't a bit in it, and I'm not cutting anything. But there is quite a lot of exhaust coming out here because all the stuff beside me is getting blown around. So I'm not sure what's happened at the start there though. So that's back to 1 now. Yeah, okay, right. There's something definitely wrong with that. Because look, it's on speed 1. And let's try 2. Speed 2. Is that 1000 RPM? That seems very slow. Not sure. And that one that, hold on. Right, that's not 1000 RPM. Something's wrong. Oh, bugger. So I have further fiddled with it, and it seems there's actually 12 speeds because, right, here we're on speed 1, and if I turn it, it's going to click to half speed. Half speed. Right, that's it. And then 2. And then 2.5. And 3. 3.5. So it goes right the whole way up, which means there's actually 12 speeds. So I'm not really sure what to do about this because if we start at 3 here, I'm going to turn her on, wind her up to 6, and then wind her back down. So we're on 3. I'm going to wind it up to 6. That's at full power at 6. Now I'm going to wind down to 1. So that's about the slowest you'd ever want to use it. Right about there. And that's about 3. But once I wind it below 3, that's just on 2 now. It's starting to get a bit slow for use, and then that's 1.5, and it goes to about hand spinning speed and then just stalls, and then down to 1 and basically just turning over. So I'm stuck between, should I return it? Is it faulty? I don't really know. So have to think about this here. So I think we're actually alright. I did a bit of research and I found a video on YouTube by a German chap, and he seems to have had the same issue, or so I thought it was an issue, but in reality it's just completely variable speed. So 1 is actually nothing, and when you turn it up it just gets faster and faster and faster up to the, how many, the 6,000, no, what was it? 3,300 RPM, aye, that's it. So, turns out I'm alright. Whew, bit nervous there. So now, what we've all been waiting for, let's put her to the test. So, I bought this here set of router bits. As you can tell, there are 12 pieces, and it is 1/4 inch, call it. And Trend, they basically just do everything to do with routers, and so I've been told, and so I know from experience, for any kind of cutting blade, bandsaw blade, table saw blade, planer blades, everything, it's not really worth cheaping out because they'll tell you that it's high speed steel or it's carbide tipped, but it won't really be. So go for the fairly expensive stuff you know is good and you won't be disappointed. So I'm going to add a small round over just to the edge of this piece, just as a first wee test. So let's put her in and try it. Right, so put in the collet lock, crank her open, put in the bit, right there, tighten there, and get the wrench. Just get it nice and tight, and then I'll just put on the fixed base, and I'll take off this wee boyo because I don't need it. There we go, and this should just slide in. There we go. And then I can adjust the depth with the rack and pinion here. So let's see. If this is my piece, I'll do a round over like that, we'll say. And then lock it. And we're ready to cut. See here, turn her on and turn her up a bit. There we go, very nice. Wonderfully smooth, and that's cutting this way. So let's try cutting the other way and see if it's smoother or rougher or what. That's pretty much the same, but very nice. So I've switched over to the plunge base now, and I have the V-groove bit in, and I'm going to try a wee bit of carving just to see how it works, you know, let's see. So spin around. I only know it's supposed to go this way because it's more comfortable in the hand, and then there's the wee screen thingy. So let's see. If I plunge, let's see how deep I want to go. Let's do just a wee bit. So if I pull off about there, then I can tighten back here. There we go, that seems about right. Let's see. If I set the turret depth to that then, or which this adjust? I adjust this down to the turret depth. That hits that. So now, if I open her up, she'll pop up. When I hit it down, that'll be the depth. Okay, righty ho, let's give this a whiz. So I'm just going to draw like a wee line or something, I don't know. There we go, a wee line. It's quite nice actually. Only thing is, don't know if you can see there, it's flat on the bottom. As in there's curved sides and then it's flat. I thought that was like right pointy. That looks right pointy there. Oh, wonder why that is. So there you have it. That's pretty much it for this one. I really just wanted to unbox her, see what there was and see how she works. So she seems durable enough and that she'll be able to last me a good while, but I haven't done any proper projects with her yet. So I'll be doing a router table for my new table saw, and to no surprise, the router will be needed. And that'll be here when it comes out, and I'll have a different video here if you want to watch, and you can subscribe up here then. So thanks for watching, and do whatever, you know. Subscribe.